All right. The first one is, I guess, tell us a bit about yourself, like your background, your history with the project, so on and so forth, your career, because it's kind of related, or it's like super related, actually. So, I guess we'll just
Sure.
start off with
I
that
mean,
one, with who you
the
are.
I think I've talked about this a little bit in the past with others. First of all, if you're having a hard time sleeping, you can go look at my LinkedIn profile. It's like pages and pages of dribble. It'll knock you out. You'll absolutely be bored to death. But I've been pounding keyboards since 1981, so just a couple of years. And I first got into Unix systems around 1983, I think it was, somewhere around there, 82, 83-ish. And just kind of never looked back. I've done a ton of things from networking to build device drivers to writing ERP systems and order management, just all kinds of crazy stuff all my life. And started my first company as a sophomore in high school and built that out to it was like in Inc. magazine #9. These are all public facts. It's no big secret. And sold that for a little bit of money and then just couldn't stand it. So then the funniest thing about my background that most people know is I started a game center called Fat Loots. I started a company called National Game Centers, and in 19 wow, what was it? Or maybe it was 2003-ish. I forget the dates now. They all run together when you get old like me. But I had a game center with 30 PCs. There were tricked out Dell game PCs and two T1s. Imagine that. Like literally T1 line. None of you even know what
T1
a T1
internets.
is.
I know this because my dad had a business when I was a kid, and he had like the T1, T2, T3 offerings.
Yeah, 56K, 1.5K megabit, 1.53 megabits per second. Don't hold me to that if I remember right. And I had two of them, and then and it was during the MySpace years, and so I had to do all this cool filtering to make sure that the MySpace users didn't crush my poor gamers who were playing Counter-Strike and would complain if they couldn't get a headshot in because of lag and that kind of stuff. So did that for a while, and then I joined Warner Music Group and did a bunch of other stuff. In the last 7.5 years, I've been at a small company you never heard of called Amazon, and there I've done all kinds of stuff from owning worldwide tech leader digital advertising to launching countries for Amazon advertising. I launched 13 countries. That was a hell of a project. And then for a while, I owned a couple of AWS services, all networking related, all infrastructure like Transit Gateway and some other stuff. As a product manager, I had a small team doing that. And then I went for a couple of years almost here. I went to Kuiper, which is satellite internet, being able to do networking in the sky. It was a fun job. This is not on my LinkedIn yet because I haven't figured out how to update my LinkedIn yet and explain it. But uh, I kind of basically came up with 10 years worth of roadmap, and the VP of engineering said, "We're never going to get to all the stuff you want to do." So, I thought, well, maybe I'll do something else. And most recently, I joined Amazon Security and Privacy, and I am focused on building technology and strategy for Amazon wide for us to do privacy compliant analytics and artificial intelligence for all of our employees. We are, Amazon is very, very sensitive about security. If you ever hear Andy talk about it, it's job zero. And he's also very sensitive about privacy, which is also job zero. So we have these things are very important. And I've joined the team to try to figure out like how to improve those systems, make them more automated, make them scaled. You can't believe the 1.5 million employees, how many people have data access. We have to figure out how do we handle that. There's lots of great security. Our security is amazing, but in the age of LLMs, there's just more to do. So that's been a fun thing. I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now, on top of just developing realms. So and then people who are close to the community probably know my history in EMU and at one point took over the server back end infrastructure, rebuilt everything twice now. I talk about that a little bit in one of my posts on the Realm side. And then built Eye of Sauron and a bunch of other stuff, much to some people's chagrin, because that led to them getting banned and or items being deleted. Other people were pissed. But also just have, focused on improving the code base in EMU and trying to help uh, onboard other developers. We have some amazing people on the team now too, and so I don't know. That's it. I write in C, C++, C Sharp, Python, Perl, PHP, Java sometimes, and I'm currently trying to learn Rust. So I've decided I will write all of Realm's infrastructure in Rust, and so that has made it a little slower than it probably would have been if I would have done it in a language I knew. But I really value the philosophies from a nerd perspective of Rust. It's a very interesting technology. So I wanted to do something. So, does that
Awesome.
answer it?
Yes, that does answer it. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
what I was aiming
Brainfuck's good
for.
too. I like using that. Sorry, Mez is giving me crap. I know what Brainfuck is, buddy.
All right.
Sorry.
So, that's good. I just wanted people to know like who you are, the man behind SWG Realms. So, essentially, what is like a TLDR version? What is SWG Realms?
Uh, well, we have this cool website that some people might have read or didn't read. And but what is it to me in my heart? In my heart, I maybe an origin story real quick. Sorry. The When I came back, I came into the team somewhere around, I don't know, 2010 for a little while, into the community, not even really into the team. And then I built a VM image just to make it easy for people to launch their servers. And then I came back like in 2013, 3 years later, and found out people were still banging their head against it, trying to make it work. And then I was like, wow, this is just a nightmare. Why should this be so hard for people? It's not hard for me. I mean, I've got 40 years of experience in Unix systems and, like I can, bang one out from raw code. But I realized, that was kind of really dampening people's ability to contribute and also just to engage with the code and have fun building their own servers and breaking them. And so I then built Zanamadev, and that was designed to be a ongoing, so it wouldn't be like this static thing that could continuously be updated. And I wrote it in a way that I hoped that people could contribute. And that's where Forelli actually leaned in with me, which was super great. Him and I did a bunch of stuff trying to make it easy for developers. I did crazy stuff like have my wife try to set up a development server. She was able to do it in 10 minutes. She's not tech savvy, but was able to do it. And why, right around that time, anybody who's savvy about internet stuff can see that I actually registered SWG Realms in 2017. So a little bit of forethought there. And I've always had this dream. I don't know why I have this craziness, but I love infrastructure and I love making things easy for other people. If you ever talk to any of our CSRs, you'll hear they ask like, "Oh, how can I figure out if this happens?" They ask me like 3 times and that's it. I'll spend a whole Saturday just writing a tool so they never have to ask me again, not because I don't want to be asked, but because I don't want to be the one that slows them down. I want to give them the tool so they can go. And we have like, I don't know, some 30 something tools. I think they scrolled the list of tools in one of the videos. It's pretty funny. So, that kind of was there's this ongoing theme you can see where I really desire to take and remove the complexity and make it easy for people. And I also want to be able to make things more and more robust and more automated and tooled and orchestrated. And so Realms to me is just that next step. It's just taking everything I've learned in the God, I don't know, 10 years or something, I don't know, that I've been engaged with this project. And from running our servers, from launching Finalizer from scratch, which was fascinating. So little people understand about the back end of the craziness of what was going on in real time. And and Hackery and I and Miz and God, just so many other members of the team. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting everybody's name on the nerd side, but we were all just trying to figure out stupid stuff like why is the AI doing this and oh my God, the server's melting down. So we had a New Year's Eve party where 450 people tried to zone into the same place. Thank you to Cora. She and Mobius did this really cool New Year's Eve party, and it was great because like we got to test some code. And we had to do some really fast, quick change. I had to reboot the server. I think I made a bunch of patches real quick and rebooted the server in the middle of the event. But that combined with my passion for unlocking creativity, and I believe that pulling us together and creating a creating an environment for Galaxy owners to create new communities, launch them, to implement their ideas. There are a million ideas out there about how we could take this incredible, cool thing that we all enjoyed and we engaged with when we were all just a teeny bit younger. I think I might have actually had some color in my hair back then. And just make that easier for people, right? And the first step is the server hosting. Some people figure it out. Some people think they figured it out until it all crashes. They don't have good backups, or somebody whacks their database and steals all their user IDs and passwords. And it's deceptively simple to some people, and it's impossible for other people. And I want to make it secure, scalable, and easy for anybody, really. And then advanced people will do advanced things. And so I actually want to create tooling much like I've done in Realms to make it easy for people like NFS and CUEMU and other people who've reached out to me. There are other private servers that have reached out and I've said, oh, absolutely, let's work together. I'm not going to say their names. They're welcome to say their names if they want to, but I won't expose people. But because basically, I hope to give those people time back, right? So that the little bit of time they have, that all of us have lives, that they can actually focus on their community and new content and new features they want to do or whatever they want to do, whatever they believe is the thing. And my hope is that by making it easy for users, and trying to make it easy for users too, it's secure, it's scalable, you have one user ID, it's very easy for you to move from between servers, and you'll be able to manage your accounts and everything else. And I'm hoping that what we'll do is we'll actually create a Venn diagram. We'll have make it really easy for users to adopt and enjoy new content. Make it really easy for developers and even moderately not developers, just people that kind of know some stuff, to be able to launch a server and get people to log in. And then I have a longer version of this. I mean, once I get it launched, I want to make it easy for content to go. I'm going to launch a containerized application sandboxed version of Launcher that will be plugged into all these things, and people, Galaxy owners will be able to push content out to the client. We'll be able to do fixes that need to be there. There's a whole group, Mod the Galaxy, that has some fantastically cool things I want to figure out how to enable. I'd love to have like click buttons and you could enable those things on your client. And that is me wanting to enable my wife, because my wife, by the way, has a backlog of quests that she wants to write, things that she'd like to do, character NPC things. She has a list. She literally spent, I don't remember, a couple of weeks just going through, and she has a database of every single static site, like a crash ship in the middle of here or that. She has a database of every single one of those things, a couple thousand of them. And she made this meticulous database. And then there's a column where it says, this should happen here, or these should people, we could do this thing, or. So she has all these cool things that she wants to unlock. But I've tried for 18 years to convince her to write a little code, and it's amazing. I'm still married. She hasn't killed me yet. But, every time she tries, it just makes her eyes bleed. And it's crazy for me because it's a thing that literally brings me joy. And, writing code is like, I don't get paid to write code currently. It might change next week. That's fantastic. Actually, I may have tripped across a project I can do. But the but the reality is that's why I wanted to build Realms. So I'm sorry. That was a really long answer to a short
I
question.
did start off with
80 more
TLDR. I was like the too long didn't read version, and then you're like, let me give you the full book.
Well, the TLDR is the webpage, man.
It is.
Go to read the webpage. SWG Realms offers an easy and affordable way to launch your own Star Wars Galaxies emulator server based on the open source SWGemu core. Is that what you needed? Now you feel better?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, in very extremely simple terms, a server hosting platform for SWG Core 3 servers.
That's right.
And with an aggregate launcher.
Yes.
Yeah,
And centralized authorization, security, integrations with Discord, integrations with other services. Like my dream is to just make it fun and easy to
very
do these
cool.
things. So,
Before I go on to the next question, since I am taking questions from the chat, Jeff asked, "How will it integrate the custom launchers and clients of the different servers?"
well, first of all, most of the servers aren't really actually doing binary hacks. Some of them are releasing things like maybe some mods they've done. Quite a few of them are doing trees, files, and things like that. So the idea is actually to have each Galaxy owner will have a configuration. Any binaries they want to push will have to go through virus scanning and a bunch of other fun stuff. And then when the user logs in, they can say, hey, I want to join this. Let's say you're going to join SWGemu. It's a slightly different client. It's not the same exact client as SWGemu uses for our things. Two different, slightly different binaries. When you pick that one and decide to launch it, it'll say, "Boop, are you sure you want to do this?" Yes, and then we'll download that for you, and then we'll launch the binary for you. The reality is, some people don't know this, but if those who really remember the original game, when you popped up that little ugly Sony launcher thing, that thing was actually doing like all the configuration of the client, and then it would launch the client. And everything we've done in EMU is basically just use the debug version of the client launch and launch it raw without all the settings that that launcher did. So I want to bring those back so you can pick your settings and off to the races you go.
Very cool. Um, Harold asks, "Will with Realms launching, will we be seeing more custom clients, or is it still closed source?"
Um, well, I mean, well, first of all, we don't own the client binaries. We don't have the source code on my team. I know some people feel like this is all abandonware and that it's no big deal, but there was some leaked stuff. I don't use it, but we use the binaries that come under CDs, and there's a lot more customization that can be done than just the binaries. It's a ton. You can put out new content, new tree files, all kinds of fun stuff, and so much of it happens on the server side. So there's a there's a interesting it's an interesting fine line. My goal is, and I want to make it clear, is that I don't want to contribute to copyright violations. But if somebody has the disc and they have the version and they want to launch it, then Party City, right?
Yep. All right. I'll get back to the list of questions. Maybe get a little bit more detail. Why choose SWG Realms as a developer? I think you went over it a little bit in your general what is SWG Realms, but if there's something you want to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about it a little bit in one or two of these things. First of all, I would say I have is it 14 or 17 page doc that I wrote. It's pretty dense. I've shared it with a handful of people in the community who have reached out and wanted to read it, including mostly interested game server Galaxy owners, I call them. And in there, I go into more detail. So I guess I would say if you want a whole lot more detail, email me and let's start talking. You can email info@swgrealms.com. And I try to check that on a regular basis. It's on my phone. I'm slow. So for some of those that have sent me emails, you all got replies this morning. But generally, the idea is that um, it's a complete CI/CD pipeline. That means that we do all the checking, we do all the we compile the code, we test it, we verify it. You can have all your tests that you want to run before it pushes, but push the code into a place to stage it for people who I kind of envision it as like basic and medium and advanced accounts. I forget what my wording was. I'd have to go back and look, but essentially the idea is that the basic account, you're just going to launch one of a couple of known variations that we all know and love, and then you're going to do all your configurations. A ton you can do in configuration. And oh, by the way, all the Lua files you can edit, whatever you want to do, right? You can go crazy. And then as you get further along, if you're a more advanced development team and you're wanting to, you know, edit the C++ files, you want to have your tests, even if you want a TC Prime server, the goal is as you get to advance, you'll be able to have test servers. You can have test galaxies that you can launch for your developers so they can test their code quickly online and see if everything's working right. It'd be invite only hidden, of course. And so, I mean, the goal is I want to create a place where it's uh, where I enjoy. How's that? I want to create a place where I enjoy writing code. And I've been developing code for a long time. And if you ask Hackery and some of the other people that work inside our code base and EMU, I think they generally enjoy it. I don't love Jenkins. It'll go away. I don't love our Git review process. We're going to get rid of that. I'll change some of those things. But generally, I want to modernize our CI/CD pipeline, and then I want to make it very easy. DDoS mitigation. Hang on, I want to jump on that one just real quick because I
Sure.
just happened to notice it. So right now, I don't know where I'm going to go in the long run, but right now because I know some people who know some people, and I also happen to work there. I'm using AWS, so you'll notice I've used Amazon Cognito for the front end. It is nuclear bulletproof. It's fantastic. I can't tell you. Might be able to Google. I think maybe you could search and find the names of partners, but there's big companies that use Amazon Cognito for the authorization engine. I do that because if somebody's DDoSing the hell out of the authorization engine, they can have a blast. I don't care because Amazon's just going to laugh at them. And then the other thing I've done is for the tech savvy, you'll note that when you go to SWGrealms.com, it is just a really big static website. And so DDoS the hell out of that. Have fun. I actually know some friends at Cloudflare, which is currently protecting my site. So have a blast. And then the play.com is actually hosted right now inside of AWS, and AWS has a bunch of great tools for what's called web application firewall WAF tools that I can use to reduce our DDoS issues. And I'm not going to brag. Somebody's going to figure out a way to make things painful. I can tell you that all the time I've been here, we have been attacked multiple times, including just recently, and I mitigated all of them. Not bragging, just we have the tools, right? Like I used AWS tools to figure out how to block somebody paid some botnet to basically try to take down our forums recently, by the way. This is hot news off the press. I haven't told anybody, but I was super pissed about it, and it slowed down SWG Realms because it took me a little bit to figure it out. I figured them out, and they're no longer hitting us. So
I remember
yeah,
that. I heard about that because it was affecting me as I was trying to work with some almost human on some stuff. So yeah, that was, yep, I did see that. All right. So can existing servers port over their existing player base to Realms with all characters, items, housing, etc. intact?
potentially. And I only say potentially for one reason, and that is I have designed there's a process I've designed where actually, maybe I'll link it in a little bit here, but if you want to sign up for SWG Realms, there's a forward process where you can actually click on a link inside of SWG EMU's webpage when you're on their forum, and it will walk you through the forums and it'll connect you. That's all what I call partner linking. And that whole system is generic. It was not built just for SWG Realms. Matter of fact, if a partner came to me tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want to do this," all I have to do is give them a key, and I can give them a binary, and I can show them, I can give the example code, and they could start tomorrow. Boom, start moving there. That's to get their users migrated, right? Because you got to get the user base linked up, right?
Yeah.
So your username needs to work. We'll have to figure out how to deal with if on their server they have a LordKator in their logins, and I'm not there, then we're gonna have to figure that out. So rather than trying to let a whole bunch of people jump in all at once and do kind of whatever, I felt like the best thing to do was to actually I don't know. I feel like it's like I'm honoring SWGemu for its history and the things it's done, right? And so I'm allowing people for a while here to log in as their SWGemu user. The second thing is that in reverse, if you are an SWGemu user right now and you log in and you go to login, not sign up, go to login and you log in as your SWGemu username and your SWGemu password, then we will actually check, and that back check is generic. And if the other guy wants to implement one of those, I can give them some sample code. They can implement it, checks against the forums. Once that check clears, then it comes back and says, okay, you can sign up. It authorizes the user to sign up, and then it asks them to change their password, not their SWGemu password, their Realms password, because I don't want, there's a security problem, right? And then off to the races they go. And then, so now you've got your users plugged in, right? Now the second thing is characters and then all their items, all their data. Yes, all their items, yes, all their data. Character name conflicts might be an issue. I'm still not completely clear where we will go. Will a character name, be solid across galaxies? My current inclination is it would be, and mainly because I want to be LordKator on every one of the galaxies on Realms, and I don't want to do that just because I'm an admin, just because I want to be known that's who I am. I might want to still create a character that's just for a particular galaxy that's, called Joey, and I don't even want people to know who the hell Joey is. That should be an option. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how do we solve character names? I'm just not sure yet. Haven't figured that out. And
That
I
would
might
be a
give up
very
on that binding.
interesting. That would be very interesting having the same name across all servers. Uh,
Yeah, but then it, mainly there's two pieces to it. One of them is I want to be able to bring my identity, but number two, I don't want people impersonating people, which we've already seen in the community over the years, right? And whatever we can do to help reduce that impersonation. But I also want, if I want to play on somebody's server and I don't want to know I'm there, I want to be able to just create a character, call it Joey, and they have no freaking clue. If
right.
I do bad things, they can report me to Realms, and then if they're lucky, my wife will probably slap me, and they'll be okay. So,
Yeah.
so yes, I think we could. So because the core data, like the Berkeley DB and everything else, that all was going to be there. What I haven't done is I'm not currently planning to bring any EMU. I don't know. I kind of debate on bringing Nova over, but and so I haven't written anything to do the migration of the tables that are in MySQL. So things like characters are in MySQL, things like account names are in MySQL. So yeah, I think there's a good chance that, especially if it's a serious, I mean, if it's somebody who's got, like, 8 accounts and they've been running the server for a week and they want to move in, I think we should probably work with them on how to just rebuild their community. But if it's a serious, there's a number of really great creative third-party servers out there right now that are doing cool shit that I know about. And if one of them reaches out to me and says, let's figure it out, I'm happy to put some sweat into it with them, do
Yeah.
the right thing.
I know there's a couple out there that pride themselves on never having wiped, so they would probably be.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
never have them wiped. I like that one. Let's be clear. Like, uh, you know, I don't know. I might even, oh, I'm going to say something I'm going to regret.
Well,
I'm
maybe
going to
don't do
regret
that
it.
then.
I don't know. Reach out to me. You might be surprised at how the most important thing here is Realms is not SWGemu, and I don't mean to disparage the project or any of the beautiful people who have contributed to it. Realms is neutral, and I want to support people to have a hell of a lot of fun and do it together as a community. So,
Yeah, I think that's wise. I think that is the best position that.
and if I can help them avoid a wipe, if they want to get JTL going, maybe I know somebody.
All right. Actually, let me take this question from a viewer because it's one I did not actually have listed. Well, maybe I did, but actually, I'm gonna save that question because it'll come up. Thank you for the question, Harold. It'll come up later. I promise. What are the benefits of SWG Realms to the player? This was actually asked by Tim Allen. He said, "My question is what question does this project answer or problem does it solve? I don't care that I have multiple lightweight launchers for different projects. How does this benefit me as a player? Why should I look forward to this?"
Yeah, I mean, so a couple of things. Number one, Galaxy owners will not have any of your data. They won't know your email address. They won't know your password. They won't have any way to intercept any of the security. That's number one in my mind. Number two, I believe. that they won't even have your freaking IP address if I get what I want, which sounds really hard, but I have a fantastically interesting idea about how to deal with the login server and how to deal with the zone server and proxies. I just need to decide whether or not I want to pay for the proxy work, but I could do it. And then, but I'll give them tooling. If you're bad people, they're going to be able to flag you as bad people, throw you out of their galaxy, and oh, by the way, they're going to be able to, try to vote that you've done something bad and maybe we should throw you out of the universe, but I hope that almost never happens. And then the other thing is just one place to discover other galaxies when they come out and launch. You're going to know 5 seconds after a galaxy owner goes, open my server to public joiners. You're not gonna have to go search anywhere. You have to go look at the forums, go to Reddit, or go, hope you read about something on massively overpowered or something. Like to me, I think that's a big one. So, you wake up one morning and you're like, I'm just kind of tired of the server I've been playing on, or maybe I just don't want to do that right now, and I just want to do something different. I want to try this thing. This is a Jedi only server or no Jedi server. There's no risk. You just click a couple buttons and off to the races you go. Um, and again, sorry, back to my wife as a user. My wife doesn't want to deal with multiple installers and clicking on download here and then going through the virus prompts that pop up and wondering if she's destroying her computer. We may still have virus problems, but I'm going to try to do everything I can to sign these things and solve some of that. And so I think to me, I feel like it's that ability. And then over time, I haven't really, well, actually, I guess here's some incentive to sign up. If you sign up now, which Rami, you've done this, right?
Yes.
The play site has some pretty funny stuff on it, right? And it talks a little bit about like what the future might look like for you as a user, right? Because play is the user's page. The play is the place where users come to play. There will be a whole nother page that's literally going to be galaxies or galaxy.swg or swgrealms.com, which will be completely focused on I want to manage and maintain my page. So if you haven't signed up yet, you might want to, and you can look and you'll see, user profiles, the ability to put your own content or hide your content or be invisible or be online and be visible, and the ability to share stuff from your profile. I want to be able to do things like, you could subscribe to notifications from particular galaxies, and if the galaxy owner allows your SWG email, so you don't have to log in to see your email. Yeah, all kinds of fun things that I want to do. All of that, I could do it once, and it unlocks it for lots of galaxies, right? Rather than having to do one-offs everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know if that's compelling enough, but I'm hoping it's compelling for people.
Yeah, I know we talked about this we're skipping it. What sort of features will SWG Realms offer? And that's more in terms of like the player. I guess maybe it's a redundant question, but I know we had talked about like a launcher friends list, potentially like across accounts, like a review system maybe of certain servers, and being able to see like different reviews. I don't know if those are set in stone or not. Like you were talking about, you sent me a mock-up image. Can we talk about that?
Mm-hmm. Which one? I sent you lots of stuff.
There was like a launcher mock-up you sent me.
Did I? Wow, I must have been drunk. I don't know. I don't remember what I sent you, so I don't want to say you can share it yet. If it didn't have any bad pictures on it, but yeah, I don't know. Try me again. What did you want to say? What was your question
Okay,
again?
so the launcher, so it was like more like features for the players from the launcher.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was, we talked about there being like achievements. You'd be able to see where your character was when you last 100%. Logged out. Recent activities, like how much XP you gained in your last play session. Just a lot of data given over to the player about what's happening, as well as like an account friends list that's not necessarily in game, but you could see like, hey, my
Right.
friend is
Yeah.
playing this galaxy or whatever,
Mhm.
um, and then like review
I
a
might have sent you a screenshot of Steam.
it wasn't a Steam screenshot. I'll actually copy paste it to you because I know it's in our chat. And when I saw it, I was blown
Okay.
away. I was like, "Holy shit! If this is Realms, oh my god!" Okay, I found it. I'm not going to
Did
show it
you
on
find it?
stream unless you give the approval. But
All right. All
I
right. Sorry, everybody. We're doing it. Oh, you can absolutely share that if you want to. Yeah.
okay,
Go ahead.
okay, yeah, okay. Then
Yeah.
I'll show this on.
This is, but what I was trying to teach people is if you log in, this is what you start to see, right? This is your dashboard. But yeah, you could share that. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get people to sign up. Mainly, I want to know, are people interested in this? Like, I've got like a, double digits, not a lot, but I've got quite a few people who want to host servers. Most of the contact I've gotten so far have been people interested in either they used to run a server and it was annoying and they gave up, or they're currently running one and it's killing them. And so I've had that side, but I haven't got a lot of user feedback yet. Most of the user design I'm doing right now is based on my heart and my own desires. What do I want? That's kind of the way I've been looking at it.
yeah.
So yeah, I want to have, galaxy status, recent characters, all kinds of, activity you've done. I'd love to have, I would love to do some fun stuff like, could we do some cross universe, most beautiful house decoration events? Like, could we do some other fun stuff like that?
Yeah, because I was just looking at this and I was like, oh my gosh, you can see your characters, like how much ham they have, like how much XP they got, what missions they did, yeah, like I thought that was really cool. I think that's like and if you were able to add like an account achievement system.
Yeah, I do want to do that. Won't necessarily be day one, but that's, yeah. My goal is to make it fun for the users also, right? Like, and to drive that sense of community, I think will be about making the users actually interact. I like, like you're saying, account friends, not necessarily just friends on this server. When you join a server, wouldn't it be great if you could, I haven't written this yet. But I know how to do it. I know how to do most of these things. It's just a matter of prioritizing what I put my time into. But like you join a server, you could have a pop-up that says, "Hey, when I join this server, can you please, relink all my friends in this galaxy when I log into the galaxy?" And you log in and your friends list is literally exactly all the people you already know that are playing on that server. There could be some really cool ways to do that. Other things I'd love to do is be able to manage your macros. Your macros might be slightly different between one machine and another machine, or maybe your UI settings. Love to be able to make it easy for people to basically create game profiles, and then they use a different profile based on which Galaxy server they're joining, things like that. So
That sounds hella nice quality of life right there. That's so awesome.
yeah,
Um,
I wanted to make it fun for people to, that's my passion, is to make people enjoy what they're doing.
yep. Jetta Dev was asking, will there be a section for beta servers at some point in SWG Realms?
Section for beta servers in SWG Realms. I I'm not sure what a beta server means, but if you mean servers that will be launched before we go completely live, maybe. I I okay. First of all, CUEMU. I apologize. I have been horrible. That team and I talked so long ago. It's unbelievable. But I also lost two of my fathers, my father and my father-in-law in that time, and a bunch of other stuff. So I have all kinds of real life excuses, but it doesn't matter. I failed to make my commitment. They wanted to get their test server out early, and I did not achieve that. I do believe now I am moving rapidly towards achieving that. And the NFS team is rapidly trying to pull together their stuff and get their things together. I'd like to honor them a little bit, I guess, in some way for, convincing me to do this, showing enough excitement that I was like, okay, maybe this is something people will lean in on, because I don't want to do nothing. If nobody's going to do it, then, like, who gives a shit? But if people are going to actually be interested in it. So I don't know how to balance that with the truth is I'm moving faster now than I thought I could. And because of that, I'm starting to get more and more of the foundation together, and it's really coming quickly. And I have debated maybe I'd make a 90-day reboot beta server that people can join, beat the shit out of themselves, no frogs, good luck, bash yourself, and we'll have some race to the first things, and I don't know, whatever else, and and then it'll have a clock every time you log in. It'll say there's only 89 days left, and then when it's done, poof, a big report will come out of what happened. I don't know.
A
Maybe we do
90-day
something like
server,
that,
you
right?
say?
Right? Like just like, just like we know we were going to kill this server. The we will wipe server.
The we will wipe the
So
seasonal server. Some people really wanted that, but
some people talk about seasonal servers,
they
and I think it'd
do.
be a cool way to test it,
It would be
right? Like just I don't know. I
just
mean, I would love to,
testing out Realms features. I
I
think people would be on board for that
you
for a little
know,
bit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I got it actually. It's probably one of my next big challenges. I will do another post soon in the next day or two, another developer update. I'm trying really hard to do these updates so that people can understand that we're making some progress, but also seeing. But one thing I need to do is start creating a space for people to be able to vote on batshit crazy ideas like that and propose them, and then maybe the community will inspire me because there'll be so many people that are like, let's do it. Why make it 90? Make it 30. Like Jeff's saying, oh yeah, let's do it. I
Jeff's
might even play on that one.
yeah, Jeff's about it, dude. He is.
Yeah, and then everybody gets their, they'll get SWG Realms achievements, and then I'm sorry, 2 years from now, somebody's like, oh man, dude, how did you get that achievement? Like, I was there,
Yeah, people do like that feeling. People do like
right?
that
I was
feeling.
there. I was at the launch, man. So
Yeah.
that could be fun if that's what they mean by beta servers.
He said
You know,
servers in development. So I guess
yeah,
like
yeah,
a test server that is not have an actual live server.
yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know what your server is when you launch it. Is it beta? You know what I mean? Like, where are you
Yeah.
at in your development cycle? It's up to you. You can put, I imagine we'll give people a chance to put like a little blurb about the server, and they can say this server's in beta. Maybe I should put a tag that says the server's in beta so people kind of know that they're dealing with a beta server. I could see that. That'd be cool. But there's no differentiator to me. I'm just running servers in a box, right? What's in the box is up to the Galaxy owner. So if
Gotcha.
they want to say they want to launch, also you can do important factors. You can do invite only servers. You can do hidden, so they don't show up in the Galaxy list. Um, that will happen in the next week or two because I will launch a server just to test, right? And it'll be hidden. You won't be able to find it. And then so you could have a hidden invite only server that essentially you invite a handful of people to because you want to do some beta testing. That might be a really cool way to do it. I kind of envision the idea of like a Discord server. I like the Discord thing where you give the link out and then you click the thing and boom, 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 it unpacks, right? Like you could give them the invite link, and then they could just jump to the invite link and join. And then you could either say anybody with the link can join or anybody with the link has to be approved. And then when they click on it, you go through. I think that will help people too, because they'll be able to launch a server in a quiet, non-embarrassing way, bang on it a little bit with a handful of creative people. And then when they get excited and they feel like they can really make it go, then they can push the button on it. So,
Cool. I'm gonna ask this just because it's so funny. Christopher is asking a question about, and it's not exactly SWG Realms related. It's more.
no, I love this question. I
Did you
see it.
see it? Yeah, the AI.
Go ahead and read it out, though. Yeah.
Okay, let me scroll up to his original question. Let's see, where was it? Dang, there's been a lot of chat. Is there any way to use AI to make the NPCs in the game seem like they are alive instead of just mute zombies?
1000%. Full stop. Um, what it didn't talk about in my intro, if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see that I actually have patents in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And my current job, I actually am working for a small company nobody knows on how to secure LLMs and make them privacy compliant. So I also use LLMs in the development of SWG Realms. I've written over 15,000 lines of markdown documentation in combat warfare with LLMs, trying to pull those things together on what I want this system to look like. And then I fight daily. This morning I had 2 LLMs open at once. The most I've ever achieved is 4, and they're all writing different parts of the system at the same time. It's really fun. So, and then they make a mistake, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's not secure, you idiot. Anyways, but
It's
no,
not
I
secure.
absolutely, yes, it is not secure. But yes, I totally envision a world where we could enable more complex characters. What I really want to start with is I'd love the helper droid to be trained on as much game information as we can give them, so that when a person joins the team, they could ask the helper droid a question, and it would just basically use all of that data to answer something articulate for them. The challenge I have is I need to make a decision on whether I want to spend $20,000 or $25,000 a month with Anthropic, or if I want to run something local. DeepSeek is interesting, but it's got a plateau. So do I train something? We run it on a GPU instance, and maybe we all chip in, and all the Galaxy owners can use it, and they beat on it, and it costs us, X amount of dollars. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's absolutely something we can do. It's not hard. I could do it on a Saturday. I do most things on Saturdays, but I could do it in a day.
Oh,
I've
that's awesome.
almost did it recently just for fun, but now you spoiled it. So maybe you'll log in, you'll find one to talk to.
Oh my god,
Who knows?
that'd be crazy. This NPC walking around talking to players on Finalizer randomly. That would be spooky.
Never know. Maybe I'll log in and you won't know it's me or it's not.
Is it an event coordinator? Is it a dev? Or is it AI? Can't tell the difference.
Is it LordKator? I don't know.
Uh,
All right. Sorry.
okay, so we'll go back to my list of questions. We've been getting a lot of questions from
Yep.
chat, which is good, and questions I didn't even think of, to
Yeah,
be
I
honest.
appreciate that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Will multi-accounting be allowed? How will households who have more than one real player be verified?
Not my Galaxy. I don't give a shit.
Really?
The Galaxy owners will make the decision. The platform will do everything it can to identify multi-accounts and provide information on RMTers and cheaters and all kinds of fun stuff. But it's going to be up to anybody who launches a Galaxy is going to have a configuration option, and they're going to say, do I allow multi-accounts? Do I allow multiple people online at one time? I'm going to give them a bunch of flags. And by the way, I fully expect, and this is not an insult, this actually comes from my heart because I love the EMU philosophy in many ways. I know it frustrates some people in the community. I fully expect that the EMU team that's now becoming the NFS team will probably click yes on every single box. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then Rami, you're known for being less than or more than creative, and in your interpretation of terms of service.
That's right.
And some people have even said to me, maybe I shouldn't even be talking to you, but they can go pound sand. At the end of the day, we're all creative people trying to enjoy a thing together. You're going to go and launch a Galaxy that goes, no, 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 I don't care, just Party City. And great. And then the description, you're going to say, this is a Party City server. I don't give a shit if you eight accounts on at one time. Have a blast. I will look for abuse, obviously. People who are, we talked about DDoSing earlier. I can't have people that are, harming my systems. And certainly can't have people who would be harming other people's systems. So, does that make sense?
Yes. Well, so
Did
you
that
said
surprise you?
it does actually. I was actually expecting
Why?
Realms to do the
I mean, we've been
verification for
talking about
multi-accounting.
this for a while.
I know,
mean,
but we never. I don't
can't-
think we talked about multi-accounting.
My terms of service has to say I am not going to promote copyright violations,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to promote anything that would get into issues with original IP owners. But this is a fair use, fair play system, and we will do everything within our power to provide the signals for each Galaxy owner, and the Galaxy owners make their own decisions. And if they want to have, if you want to be able to, it's totally cool. I think it's great if 3 people log in from the same IP address. Great. If you think it's okay that people log in via VPN, there's going to be a button. Click it. I don't care.
Will they be able to set like the amount of accounts that could make an account on their server?
Sure.
And then would they
Yeah.
also be able to, let's say, like they check the flag, only one account, but there'll be like an option for people who, like, for example, your wife, like you and your wife want to play on the same server, so that you can verify with those server owners, like, hey, it's me and my wife. But normally, if you were
Yeah.
to try to make like two accounts, it wouldn't work unless you talk to the server owners
Yeah. Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You can flag
Yeah, I
the
mean,
accounts.
I have to support. The cool thing, I think, is my goal is to support pretty much every operating mode that the NFS plans to do. And I haven't talked to them about this explicitly, but I'm pretty confident they're going to want to continue to validate. And so I have to give a Galaxy CSR, not platform. So you got to really separate the platform from the Galaxy. The Galaxy CSR should be able to say, in my Galaxy, I've validated these two people are allowed to play from the same IP or whatever, right? There's other ways I can figure out if you're in the same place. But and then they don't get to know your IP, but they get to say these two accounts can be on at the same time from the same origin, and then they can do that. Or they could say when they sign up, they could say no, I won't allow it, or they could say only allow it by my approval. So I have to be able to support NFS to basically implement what they want to do, and then it'll just be a feature for other people to turn it on or off. It's up to you, right?
Very cool. I like that.
Maybe
That's actually a really
maybe
good idea. That's awesome, actually. I think giving freedom to the server owners and not having them restricted. I mean, it encourages them to use SWG Realms, in my
I
opinion.
hope. I
Yeah,
mean, because at the end of the day, that's my dream. I'm trying to create a space for all of us to enjoy ourselves. So, and not all, and we don't. If there's only one thing, any one thing I know is that we have in the database, in the S3GEMU database, there are 327,000 accounts. By the way, that's a number I don't know how public it is, but that's what it is. And I guarantee there's at least 300,000 ideas on what SCG should look be. I don't know
yeah,
if there's even 27,000 people that agree with the other 300. I don't know. I could be wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, I bet
yeah,
you there's a lot,
yeah.
and some of them are like, I should be able to multibot. And maybe a whole bunch of people want to just play on a server that's all about multibotting. Why do we care?
Right.
I will keep stats from what we can consider unique origins, and those will be the things that will be reported. So the Galaxy wants to try to boost their numbers by having a bunch of people be able to multi-account. Uh, it's just going to show they have a bunch of people with multi-account. Sorry,
Yeah.
not interested in that.
Gotcha.
But that's cool. Some people
Yes.
may be attracted to that, right?
Yep. Um, and this question comes because this was a thing in live, and I haven't seen anyone ask it yet, so it's cool that I thought of it. Um, will cross-server trading be allowed? For example, can I trade a T21 on a server A for a Power Hammer on server B, or can I trade lots on server A for lots on server B? I'm sure you remember this happening on live, and I
I
was wondering,
remember it. Yes, I
yeah, and I was
remember it.
wondering if that would be
It
allowed, although technically a subversion of intended game systems in live, it did happen back then.
yeah, I mean, so I have conflict on this one. I'm going to say something that might surprise people. Uh, I think I'm going to wait to get some Galaxy owners to tell me what they want to do because I might have had a really big city and some friends on other servers in live.
Hmm.
So, you know, and they may decide, oh, only the original owner can pay maintenance on a house or something. That would be a way to really slow that down, right? The way I did that, of course, I just got people to create some houses. They put me on admin. I paid for it forever. They never logged in ever again, right?
Right.
So, it's possible that some Galaxy owner might say to me, hey, I'd love a feature where I could click this box, and then if the person hasn't logged in 30 days, their house goes poof, or it just gets packed up. And then I'd be like, oh, sure, and maybe I'll write that. I'm actually very interested to write features for the engine and for the game that are going to be cross-cutting. That will, like, if I'm not going to be, I don't think I'll be excited if somebody comes to me with their brilliant idea for, whatever, I don't know, levitating Jedi in Naboo. Uh, if it's one crazy one-off. But if there's a whole bunch of ideas, this is a great example of one where we all feel like, gee, it might be kind of useful. I could see a number of galaxies wanting to link into it, and sure.
Yep. This question's come up like I think like two times now. People are wondering. I think essentially, do you need to own the discs to get on SWG Realms? Just like
I mean,
SWGemu's
that's my
current
hope.
policy.
From a from a from a copyright perspective, we will not contribute to copyright violations. Um, I have ideas on how to solve for that. I'm not going to talk about them on this video. There is also there's some base realities here. If we piss off the mouse, it doesn't matter if we do everything right. They could still stomp us in the ground.
Right.
And if we do everything wrong, they could ignore us forever, and they have. Doesn't mean it's right. So I know there's an inherent amount of my personal time being poured into this thing, and then somebody could come along and crush me. But
Right.
also, I personally owned a team that submitted 50,000 takedowns a day at Warner Music Group. I'm that guy. I was at Warner Music Group and owned the team that we call compliance. So I know how these systems work.
Okay,
It's
so
hard
you're
to figure out
intimately
how to
familiar with the process then.
be a good citizen.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to be a good citizen. It doesn't mean we'll win, but I won't give up easily. Let's put it that way.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Um, let's see. Will modding be allowed? There are some mods I personally like the Clear Skies mod and Sittner satellite maps. It killed me to live without those. Um, let's see. What was the next question? Oh yeah, we were asking about will modding be allowed? And then
Right.
that's when the technical difficulties, we heard nothing basically.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, what happened was somebody figured out how to mod my laptop. Huh? In live on during the live stream, the yeah, I mean, it's going to be up to the Galaxy owners because the hang on, I'm going to put you here, which means you're probably going to end up looking at my nose for a little bit.
That's fine.
Um, but this is the only way I can because I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to debug my laptop while this is happening. I have an old Mac from 2019. I need to replace it. Anyways, the so my current vision would be that if you have mods loaded on your client, that you know, listen, we're not going to be able to find every single thing. It's not possible. I don't have the resources of Electronic Arts and Blizzard, and even they fail to find every single thing. But we're going to try to give some kind of a signal back that says there's mods installed on this client, and the Galaxy owner can decide whether or not they want to let people launch that client on their server. The truth is, it's hard to know for sure. But what I'd like to do is be able to work to partner with like the MTG guys. They've got a pretty good pile of cool client side mods and stuff like that, and brainstorm with them on a way that we could have almost a pluggable system where if a Galaxy owner allows mods, or maybe they only allowed certain category of mods, then click a couple buttons and it installs inside the little application sandbox that you're going to be using to play the game, and off to the races. So that's my vision. That may not be like a day one vision. I don't know. We'll see how far I get.
Okay, cool.
But
Uh,
does it make sense? I mean, mostly it's a Galaxy owner decision. And if you don't like their, what I hope over time is we'll have all these little policies will be just part of the configuration and in a Galaxy. And then when you're as a user trying to search for a Galaxy, if you're like, I have to be able to use mods, you know, I'm not going to join this Galaxy if I can't, then you just filter those guys out and you won't play on their server.
yep. Um, I guess this one you've already kind of answered multiple times, but is there room to implement even more features in the future? Features in the future post launch.
I mean, it's just code.
Yeah, so I'm guessing a just straight answer is yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just code.
Yeah.
And again, how much time do I have left on planet Earth? And how can I open up the contributions to others that could contribute features and things like that too? If we have a really advanced team, like the SWGemu team's pretty advanced, they're smart. They might come back like, "Hey, this would be a really cool feature," and maybe we'll collaborate and they'll push some code at me. I'll do a code review and off to the races, right?
Right.
Um, so that's the way I kind of think about it. It's just code.
Yep. Um, what assurances can you make towards server discoverability on Realms?
Well, I don't know what assurances people want. I expect there to be there's a play.swgrealms.com that you can go to, and in there, there's a whole page called Galaxies, and you can search for it. And I'm going to have lots of filters, and you'll be able to find all the servers, and you could search for all I care. I'd love to even have like launch date in there, and you could search for ones that launched in the last 5 days. I don't care, or ones that have been up for more than 10 years. I don't care. And yes, if you bring your server here, earlier we were talking about migrating servers, I'd be happy to backdate you. That was a really good point about uh, no wipes. That's a point of pride. I would be happy to help people keep that pride. But anyways, so and improve on that pride, if anything, make that a thing that everybody gets because they don't wipe because they don't screw up things. As far as discoverability goes, if a Galaxy owner doesn't want you to discover their Galaxy, they're going to click a button that says they're hidden and you're never going to see it. Full stop. And I'm never going to tell anybody. My wife might know, and at some point, I will get I will very, very, very small group of people that I might do some vetting, a lot of vetting, but might do some places where they might accidentally see, oh, there's a galaxy named, Darth Vader's Revenge or something, and but generally I don't. If a galaxy owner doesn't want their galaxy discovered, then they paying for the right to not be discovered. Does that make?
Yep. Um, how are bans handled on Realms?
Well, there's two sides to a ban, right? One of
Mm-hmm.
them is Galaxy ban, and that's up to the Galaxy owner if they, I, you know, I hope Galaxy owners will behave themselves, but if they end up being uh, less than polite, then obviously I'd be happy to talk to them about it. But generally, the idea is that a Galaxy owner has the right to ban people from their server, but they have no right to ban them from any other server. And as long as a user is playing within the terms of service for SWG Realms, then they are welcome to stay on the Realms platform, and as long as their fat little fingers can type their user ID password and they can prove they have their email address and whatever else might happen in the future. But um, the I my intention is for the Realms terms of service, which I am drafting, to be a little broader, a little more about protecting the platform, a little more around, uh, you know, I can't accept things that are illegal. I can't have people that do illegal behaviors on my servers. But my goal is to not necessarily be, to be a neutral party in that moment. And then each one of the galaxies, I expect they will have their own additional team terms of service. I'm sure the NFS team will just take some of the stuff they already have and draft that based on the gaps I leave, because I will leave gaps because I'm not going to be as strict. And if you violate their terms of service, they have the right to ban you. And if they uh, if anything, you're talking about good things for users, if they do, flip them the bird and move on to another server. You'll find one in 5 minutes. And if it happens a lot and it's a problem, I'll have to figure that out. If you get banned at a lot of servers, I don't know. I'm debating on a three strike rule. I don't know. I don't like three strikes rules because they're just bullshit. It didn't work in California. Lots of good people probably ended up on death row when they shouldn't have been, right? It's just bullshit. So I would like to have some way that people can, Galaxy owners can say, hey, listen, this same account has come to my account, and I think they should be banned across the platform. And then we will take those very heavily into consideration. But I can tell you, one pissed off Galaxy owner is probably not going to get you knocked off Realms, just because you pissed them off. Now, if they have proof and evidence that you've been doing things, uh, subterfuge, or trying to, take over people's accounts or do things that would, jeopardize the community at SWG Realms, then you might find yourself banned and having to find another way back in. If I don't
Gotcha. So
find
it'd
you
have to be
again.
some really egregious stuff to get like a Realms
At the
ban.
platform level, I mean,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like it, if you're, it would have to be egregious or illegal, or I got a cease and desist letter in the middle of a lawsuit about you.
I don't has
You
that ever
probably,
happened? I don't know if that's ever happened so far. That would be a new one for SWG community, I think. Well, I take that back. There was one
uh,
guy who did get a C&D.
yeah, and there might have been some police involved in United Kingdom for a hot second,
Ooh.
but we solved that one. So that helped.
Yes. I think people are happy to hear that. They like, some of these server owners, I'm not going to say names, okay, but some people they get a little band happy and I'm like it would upset me greatly cuz I really believe it or not I've only been banned from like one server and that's SWGemu. I've played a
Learned your
ton.
lesson, young man.
I did.
Learned your lesson, young man.
I did. And I've played on a ton of different side servers and I've been banned from none of them unless one of those servers has like if they're
Just did it
Discord
now.
bans.
I think they just did it right now. They were just going to ban you just because
Maybe
you said
so,
that.
maybe so. And so yeah, so I was just thinking like, man, it would be terrible to get banned from one server and just be across the board banned. Like nobody I don't think anybody wants
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, I would. I don't think that makes any sense.
right.
All right, what else you got? Sorry,
Uh
I know we're going long and so long we melted my computer down.
yeah. Can players banned from SWGemu play on Realms?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've said that in the beginning.
we said that in the beginning.
Maybe we should get that explicit. So if you have an SWG Realms account or SWEMU account, and you know your user ID and your password, and you have access to the original email address, you can either A, go to Realms and log in today, just log in with your username and your password from SWGEMU. My service will reach out to the EMU service and check and validate you, and then you will then get a validation email because you'll have to reset your password because I do not transfer passwords between systems. That is literally the biggest sin ever. And then you get an email, you can reset your password, and off to the races. I could give a crap if you're banned. Now, that being said, when NFS launches, that doesn't mean they're going to let you play on their server.
Right. Yeah. It'll be
You
up to
know,
the
my
server
my
owners.
my, my inappropriate joke is I'm waiting for somebody to launch a galaxy that they will call only bans, and you have to have been banned by EMU in order to join the server.
Only bans. There you go. That would be
Instead
that.
of
I'm sure someone would make that server as a joke.
I might do it just for fun. Then I have
Uh,
to ban myself, or I could just cheat. I'm the Galaxy owner. The only
yeah.
person that hasn't been banned. I'm on this server.
I would say 90% of those bans would be like someone who just had a bad night drinking.
I've seen the 15,000 some odd bans we've issued, by the way. Some of
Oh,
them are
okay.
pretty sad.
Some of them are, yeah, okay. Some of them, yeah, there's egregious ones. 90% of the people I know banned had a bad night
Sure.
drinking.
Potentially.
Yeah. So it could also double
Or
as an
eight.
AA meeting for some of them.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna do the only ban. Hi. I'm a banned gamer. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, there was a question from Mezzanine I wanted to ask. What kind of APIs will SWG Realms offer to the server admin to extend functionality?
Uh, well, first of all, there's a bunch of stuff I laid down over the years where I started building APIs in Core 3. So I will probably make those more robust, and I will add authorization to them so that they can, and authentication. Obviously, authentication comes from our system, but allow them to be able to set up authorization. So I expect some people to do some cool stuff with that. The At the same time, I'm hoping to also just make some other stuff super easy. Like, why the heck should you have to? Some people have baked their own API integration, trying to make Discord work with their chat or something, and like, that's a nightmare. Why do you want to do that? Sorry, my phone got knocked over. To me, I think the right way to solve that is I should provide that as a feature. That's a thing everybody wants. So I don't have any plans to stop people from doing rational things. Um, and if they do something creative and I find out about it and it's a problem, then I'll talk to them. All the galaxies are going to run in their own containers. They will be I may even launch different instances in AWS. They'll be locked down. They're not going to be able to play with other people's servers and won't be able to do anything cross server without working with me on it. So
There was a question someone asked earlier. Would cross server tells be a thing, like it was in live? Like you would type in like Bria
I would
dot
love
Lord.
that.
Yeah, that would be
I
cool.
love that. Yes. No, it won't be unless a Galaxy owner opts into it. But I would love to be,
But
have it
that's
be an option.
but that's something that could be an option.
Sure. Why not? Right? I mean, it just breaks your immersion to have to pop out and go into Discord or find your friend and like, oh, yeah, I would love that.
That would be really cool. Wow, that's awesome. The fact that that could be on the table is pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, I mean, but this is the advantage to if we have all these things connected by a platform, right? Then I can do things in the underlying portion of that platform where you can do a slash tell, blah, 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 at whatever. We'll figure out the syntax. Maybe we'll steal the one. I don't know if I liked it. It was like server name dot or something weird. Anyway, we'll have to figure it out.
yeah,
But then we can do that, and then it could be, then my services can then just be the transport for it. I don't have to do, and I give the code. My goal for server owners, even basic server owners, it won't be the exact same copy of Core 3 that's live because I'm going to publish a bunch of APIs that will be for the platform, and then I will give them the Core 3 code so they can just run it. And if you're running a basic account, you'll be running that because it's my repo and it's the code. And then if you're coming in and you're advanced, then you'll be able to make those API calls into the underlying infrastructure. So
very cool. Um, let's see. All right, we're getting to a question that's been asked multiple times. Actually, let me go to the bathroom real quick, and if you guys in the chat,
bathroom break.
yeah, dude, I gotta go. I just drank 2 monsters, so I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Jeff says, LK, just throwing this out there, but cross server chat would be a nightmare for TOS enforcement. Yeah, no kidding. That being said, people can ignore people cross server. I can't give you cross server count communications if I can't give you cross server ignoring. And also, from Realms in your Realms profile, you can say, I never want to hear from this user ever again. And so they wouldn't be able to cross account you or cross Realms you. And then, I don't know if you ever heard of this thing called ChatGPT, but LLMs are a thing. And I think I can do some really interesting things with them for chat moderation. I've even debated on giving Galaxy owners an additional service where they could opt into that chat moderation across their own Galaxy or cross Galaxy.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's actually a really good question, Jeff. Our suggestion about TOS enforcement across server.
Yeah, I don't think there was any cross server. I think you could basically abuse people cross server, but who knows? I don't know.
Since we're talking cross server, it just popped into my head. Would it be possible for servers to opt into character server transfers?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. The challenge isn't really one of data; it's one of items. And so, like, if you have some legendary on your server and you go to some other guy's server, or one of credits, I bring my $250 million credits that the admin on this server gave me because they like me, and then I go to somebody else's server. It's an interesting thought, though. Like, I think what I just heard you say is, could 2 server owners decide, yeah, sure, I don't care if people transfer between servers, and
Yes.
I don't know, maybe that's some future version. I would be surprised a Galaxy owner would be cool with that because it'd be so easy to abuse.
There was one situation that, as far as I'm aware of, an SWGemu. So there used to be a guy named Sesta who had a server called Aftermath, and when he decided he didn't want to run it anymore, he made a deal with Crave over at Infinity to where players could transfer their characters over, transfer, but what they did was they got their name, their template, a certain amount of gear, and like some credits. And I was thinking
that would be super cool. I like that. Basically, how do you? That's a positive. That's a player positive move
Hmm.
that we should all try to do, right? Like if I'm just tired of running my server and I'm done, can I do something player positive? Yeah, we could figure out a way to do that. It wouldn't be terribly hard. Um, from my knowledge of Core 3, it's not really about the tech. Then it would just be exactly what you said. What are they allowed to transfer? Are they just bringing their appearance and their name? Do they get all their skill points? Do they, we'd have to kind of figure that out together. But I would say that's probably one off.
Yeah.
If a Galaxy owner gets tired and decides they want to give up, they probably should connect with me and let me know, and then we can decide what to do about that.
Yeah, that would be very, very interesting. All right, so here's the question that a lot of people have been asking, and I've ignored, but because I said it's coming up. How much will it cost to host a server on Realms?
$14,000 a month.
Oof.
That's it. It's cheap. It's easy. Uh, so we host all of SWGemu on a couple $1,000s a month right now, a little bit more than that. And when Finalizer was doing 2,500 users, that was just literally a peak for days or two. So you weren't wrong when you were thinking that you hadn't seen that a lot, but it was running on a monster machine. The way costs are generally the biggest cost for an EMU server is what I call concurrent users online. This is not an unusual thing. It's often called CCU. And when we have the concurrent users, if you have 2,500 concurrent users, that machine is going to cost a couple $1,000s a month to run. That's just full stop if they're online all the time. Now, if you have a server that's, 50 users but 10,000 people that are subscribed, then it's going to be considerably less than that. So my model is that, and I have not nailed down the number yet, but there'll be some dollar amount based on the number of CCU. So you basically you could almost think of it like Discord, where they call that the power up packs or whatever the heck you buy
The
for.
server
You could buy a
boosting?
50, yeah, you could buy a $50 server boost, or as a Galaxy owner, and that gives you X amount of CCU, and off to the races you go. And as you need to scale up, the cool thing is if you start scaling up, then I can, this is literally in all my life. And if you need to scale down, and you don't want to pay whatever it is per month you've been paying, we all know the fresh new server smell always attracts an incredible amount of energy. You might be like, oh yeah, this, our population now is about 200. Great, let's downsize you. I'm not going to lock you into anything. My goal is to, if I can get enough interest, I'm going to rent a couple of servers at multiple years. I've never done this at SWGemu, but if I do like 3 years, I get a big discount in a couple of places where I could rent them. And then I will 100% pass it on. There's no version of me that thinks I'm going to be able to get more than a beer. And frankly, in my time in the EMU, has done nothing but cost me time and money. So, but I don't have published numbers right now. If you're interested and you're a serious Galaxy owner or somebody who's thinking about it, let's talk. I have some numbers that I put together. I do believe the numbers will go down as you get bigger, which sounds funny. But if you're launching a 50 user server that has the ability to burst to 150 or so people on the server, then what happens is I have to have that head count, that headroom sitting around in a server. Whereas if you have a really big server and a really high CCU, your variability actually is a sine wave. It's almost always a sine wave. Like you got everybody's on in the mornings and because of that, I can actually optimize the amount of resource that I'm putting together. And then if you're willing to commit, like if you're somebody like NFS, maybe a year from now, they'll be like, this is working great. We want to commit to multiple years. Then I can actually,
Doesn't reset
seems good
again.
now.
Yep, seems good
All right.
now. Cool. Everybody can hear us.
All right.
Cool.
So costs, reach out. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Hit up LordKator. You can go on your contact information is on the SWG Realms website, or you can email interested@swgrealms.com.
Or info@swgrealms.com. I
Info?
read them all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, either one.
Yep.
Yep.
There, let me see. You've mentioned hosting a beta for Realms. We kind of talked about this. How will
Yep.
that work? But I don't know if you've. I mean, we kind of talked about it. So, will servers be wiping at the end of the beta? Is it hosting a server yourself or having other interested parties test with you? So, like, I guess, like other
I don't know.
servers.
I mean, if there's other interested parties, they better reach out quick because if they don't reach out, I'll just do it myself.
Okay.
So,
So,
but
do you?
but
How
I
would it?
would, but it. I mean, you log into SWG Realms and you launch. I mean, how does it work? And you play.
Right, but would it like be a special rule set? Would it be like just vanilla? How would it be? Do you know?
I, I haven't figured it out yet. But primarily, it's like the 30-day thing. I was thinking 90, but one of you guys just said 30. Now I'm starting to think I would do that. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, cool.
I'm mostly what I would be interested in is getting some load and also getting a bunch of users, banging in their head against various edges of the platform. So that's what I would mostly be interested in, right?
Yeah. Um, do you have like a time you'd want to launch the beta at?
Soon,
Soon? Soon
PM.
TM. Gotcha. So so whenever it's ready.
My wife and my daughter are sitting here staring at me, wondering when I get up so we can go to lunch. So, uh, I mean, I have a life,
Right. No.
but when I don't have a life, then maybe it'd be great, or I'll be looking for a job. That would suck.
Right.
Anyways,
Um,
all right. What else you got?
do you have a launch date for Realms?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
The question, the reason I pause on that is I have a thought, but I'm really trying to, you know, really respect my launch partners. So if I say I'm going to launch next weekend, that would be a kind of a not cool thing to do.
Kind of a
So I just don't
problem.
want to answer. Yeah. Well, I
Gotcha.
just don't want to answer on their behalf. I want to make sure that they all feel comfortable. So
Gotcha. Um, why are you leaving New Foundation server or NFS, which is SWGemu's next server that'll be eventually on Realms?
Well, first of all, I want to put to bed any rumors. If there's rumors that there was some kind of a falling out, there's none. I'm still good friends with. I'm still managing SWG servers right now. This morning, smashing bugs. But the primarily, I wanted Realms to be neutral, and I felt like if I was running a server or in a dev in NFS, everybody would just assume I was always giving NFS the edge, or there was something happening weird. They're already going to assume that anyways. Everybody thinks somehow I'm going to make money on this shit, which is a joke. If you knew what kind of money I make, this is just a joke. But that was one reason, and then the second reason is they have a very cool backlog of ideas that I would love to contribute to, which would then mean I would do nothing for Realms. There's only this much room in my calendar for work on this project, and I can either fill it all up with NFS or I can fill it all up with Realms. So I think at launch, I should be filling it up with Realms. I think that's what has the biggest impact across the entire community, which attracts me. And then over time, I don't know what'll happen. Maybe I'll lean in with a couple servers. I don't know. And if I get bored and Realms is just perfectly working, the truth is it took me about 4 years to get EMU to the point where it barely bugs me on a daily basis. Usually it's once a month or something like, oh shit, to fix that. So who knows?
Gotcha. Um, let's see. Are you going to make your own server? Like post beta, like post Realms launch? Are you going to make your own server?
Hard to tell what I'm going to do when I get bored. Wouldn't rule it out,
Wouldn't rule it
but
out.
I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait for it. I believe I am highly philosophically aligned with NFS's direction, and I know more than most of you do about it. And I really have enjoyed my conversations with CUEMU. I think the two of them are going to be a force to reckon with, and so is it worth my time? But my wife and I have often kind of dreamed about something a little different that's, we have like a lot of content we would like to create. So she has a lot of ideas on Quest. I have a lot of content I would like to create, like to make some instances. And, I won't give you the ideas, but they are cool. So I don't know. Maybe I would do that. Or maybe some servers would be like, hey, I would love to have those features on my server, and I just won't have to deal with the rest of it. So
Yeah. Um, I guess this might be the last question, but
cool.
or maybe it's two questions in one. But essentially, I think people don't understand the stance you would have towards an NGE server, and I think I know your stance, so I'm pretty sure I know the answer already. But I would like you to answer that so people can understand it.
I think there is a interesting thin line here that we're trying to navigate. We're trying to navigate fair use for a dead game that died and people using the original client software. And I think there are interesting ways to continue going down that path. I am incredibly uncomfortable. I work for one of the largest technology companies in the world and would never have my name on something where I stole somebody else's software and used it. Full stop. And it's not abandonware. That's bullshit. You need to research better when people come to me with it's abandonware. There are real IP owners here. Probably the only reason we're successful is because there are multiple IP owners and they haven't all got mad at us at once. Um, and I think it's just, and also as a programmer who has spent his life writing code in order to get paid, in order to eat and pay for the electricity that's keeping his phone on, I find it very despising, very disparaging if somebody stole my stuff and just went off and did whatever they wanted to with it. I would feel violated and very pissed off. And if I was working for a company where I wrote a lot of code, which I have done all my life, and somebody stole or leaked that code, or I deliberately leaked that code, I would not be able to be comfortable with myself. So I don't know. Sorry if that sounds like righteous bullshit, but I feel like there's a line there. I'm trying really hard to hold it. So
Uh, One thing you didn't mention, what if someone were to try to recreate the NGE in Core 3? Kind of like CUEMU is doing, recreating the
I
CU in
would
Core 3.
love that
Okay.
because then the server side would be all, it's so hard to argue with us. So hard for the Mickey Mousey to come along and say, oh, you're doing this. We have a great argument. We spent decades reverse engineering the backside of this bastard. You're out of your mind. If we could take a vanilla NGE client from a vanilla CD and we launch that bastard and it comes up and it talks to a bunch of code that we all wrote together, then they can pound sand for all I care.
So if there was a Core 3 project for NGE, that would be viable to throw on Realms, you think?
Someday, maybe. I don't know.
Cool.
Reach out if you think somebody's doing it. They can reach out to me. I think it's a big project.
It is. I might know someone who's interested in doing that though. So,
Yep.
um, yeah.
All
Uh,
right.
I think that's about all the
Are we done?
questions you answered. You indirectly answered or directly answered questions about security concerns already. I believe in one of the questions already, and I guess someone said I just don't see established servers going over. Why would they? But I think that's already been answered pretty clear. I think the incentive is
Jeff had a
there.
question about using the names. There is fair use here. There is a certain level of fair use, and there is a question about, especially the original owners of the game, which is when you get back to the CD thing. There's a big fight going on right now, actually, about a game, and I won't get into all the details, but I'm definitely aware of the dialogue. So who knows?
Does Realms follow the same TOS as Emu in regards to monetization? I assume this means like like credit selling or so on and so forth?
I have to think about it. The we have to be careful that we don't go down the path of making ourselves attractive to a lawyer that thought we were monetizing their IP. So that's the way I would put it. Right.
Gotcha. Yep. Well, thank you for coming on today. I think we got everything out there that there is to talk about for now.
All right. Sorry for the technical issues.
No, it's fine.
I don't own Discord, and they don't run on my services or any of my systems. So apparently, they have some engineering design issues with the way their clients work. But thanks. I appreciate this, Rami, and I'm happy. By the way, Jeff and others, if you guys want to talk, I'm happy to talk. If you have other ideas of streams you want to do, what I really want to do is get people to understand my motivations, what I'm trying to achieve, why it's a community thing. The funniest thing is, I'm going to leave it with the last question that nobody apparently asked. Um, what why do I not think this isn't just going to contribute to fragmentation? You didn't ask that question,
Oh my
but I
God,
didn't
that is
ask a
such a.
lot,
Oh man, it does. You're right.
right?
Hmm.
So why? Why do I believe this? Well, anybody who asks that question better think about the history of who I am. I am the guy who wrote and built the first VM image that lots of people could play with. I am the guy who literally created Zanamadev from scratch. Did you know, Rami? 2,000 unique IP addresses launched servers on Zanamadev when it was out.
I had no
I had a
idea.
little thing every time it launched. I actually had a thing that would pop and it would connect to my server and check for the latest version. And when it checked for the latest version, I had the stats on that in S3 bucket. 2,000 unique servers. So, when people say to me, "Oh, you're just contributing to the fragmentation," I've been contributing to the fragmentation of this community since the beginning of time because I do not believe that is what causes us problems. What I believe is the lack of the ability for us to rapidly get creative ideas in front of the community and have people interact with those things, and for the good stuff to float to the top and the crap to just get shut down. That's what I believe in. And I believe making it easy for users to vote with their feet and to have a safe, individual, same place that they can go to over and over to discover new content and new galaxies and play safe and not have to worry about what the heck they're doing or downloading anything and do it easy so my daughter, my mother, and my sister and my wife can do it. I don't have a sister. I don't know where that came from. But the point is that normal people should be able to just have fun. And if they just have fun, then we have achieved. And having multiple galaxies on SWG Realms, I believe when we look at it years from now, if it's still going and everything's still up, we're going to see the creme of the creme at the top of that list and a whole bunch of stuff and a bunch of people that aren't going to pay for the servers anymore and just turn them off. And off we'll go. That's my belief. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I've been right more often than I've been wrong. And my heart tells me that that's the right thing. And I believe that's the thing I sold to CUEMU and I sold to the NFS teams. And they are more than happy to be in a competitive environment where they're able to contribute and focus on content. And they think that's going to be the winning thing, not being able to launch an Amadev on a laptop under their desk. Right.
Right. And
All right.
I honestly think it's what's to condense it down, like unifying the community behind a single launcher.
There.
I think that's more unifying than
It's not even
fragmenting.
launcher. Yeah, it feels a little. Don't add the unifying the community.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to bring it together so everybody, and then everybody can discover the content, and the community is going to be actually voting with their feet, right?
Hmm.
They're going to move from one place to another, and we're all going to learn from that. And some servers are going to be like, wow, I don't understand why. Oh, I made that change, and wow, my number of monthly active users has gone down, and oh, what's happening? And wow, that one over there is going up. And maybe we'll all learn, and through that, we'll be able to do something super cool. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you for your time
All
today,
right.
Lord
Thanks a
Cater,
lot,
dude.
Rami. Appreciate it. I'm sorry for everybody who had to deal with technical issues. And I had my computer blew up on me 20 minutes before this thing started. And Rami called me. I was literally running around the house pulling pieces together. This is my this is my laptop, all this other stuff. So whatever, we made it anyways. It's just kind of that's the SWG thing, right? That's the story. It's always something, but we always figure our way through it. So
Yeah.
thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Oh,
oh, what's up?
we almost forgot. Did you share with them the magic link? Was it,
The
or it's going to be in the description? There's a
there
link.
there's a link to join SWG Realms. Oh, the magic one, the one that you came up with.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we
I'm gonna put it in
forgot
the
to talk
chat.
about this. Yeah,
Yes. Go ahead and talk about it.
yeah, so what I did was um hang on, I'm trying to do it from memory now to make sure I've got it right. Yeah, there we go. So if you have an account on SWG Realms, or I'm sorry, an SWGemu, and you would like to sign up for SWG Realms and you want to do it easy, oh yeah, he just bumped it in there. When you click on that, once you log in, you're going to get a guided tour to get your account set up on SWG Realms. And the way that works is you have to be authorized. So you have to be able to log in, use your user ID and your password. If you authorize and you're banned, believe it or not, you can then use this URL after you've authorized, and you can go through the whole process, and you'll be able to create your SWG Realms account. And then you'll be able to click around in play.svg Realms, which is live right now, and you can look at some of the features, and there's some cute little jokes in there you might, if you pay attention. And that'll give you a little teaser on where we're going. And then if you pay attention to the website, my goal is to post another developer update in the next day or two. It is a long weekend. I could get some stuff done, and then I will continue to give people updates there, and hopefully that'll be another way you can learn more about what we're doing. All right, and with that, I think we're out.
Oh,
Whoa, wait.
one thing that just popped in my head. SWG Realms
Oh,
Discord.
yeah, I have it. Why?
Is that publicly available? Can people start joining that? Maybe see some updates?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Somebody talked me into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great. Like a lot of people use Discord these days to get like passive
I
updates
can't
on their
use it on
phone.
my work my work computers is my problem because it's
Oh,
considered a virus. And so I've always used other tools like Slack and stuff like that. People get mad. Why do we use Slack at SWGemu? It's because LordKator can't put it on his laptop. But maybe, I mean, I have the server. I think what I'd like to do first would be to get that the username bot working so
hmm
that the usernames are linked. And I haven't focused on that yet, mainly because I wanted to get Reg going. And then my next thing is to get some of the stuff in the API working for the servers, because I want to be able to get the CUEMU team and NFS the ability to launch their invite only hidden galaxies that they want to do for their own testing and stuff. So I need to get them kind of moving. It's kind of like I'm spinning two plates here. I'm trying to keep users excited and interested, and trying to get my galaxy partners going, and hopefully lightning will happen in the middle. So
gotcha.
I'm 50-50. I might launch I guess if I did that, I might need some people to help me moderate, because I gotta work. I can't always be in there making sure people aren't saying stupid shit. So,
Gotcha.
all
Well,
right.
I think that actually does cover it. I think we've gone over a lot, and I really thank you for your time today, LK. I'm very excited for SWG Realms. I think a lot of people are, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Oh, wait a minute. Invalid input. Re-sign up failed with error. This username not allowed. There are some usernames in SWGemu realms that cannot be used. You can't use a space. But there were some old SWG EMU accounts that have spaces in them. You can reach out to SWG EMU and ask them to fix your account name. And I can work with them to get those. There's a 580 of those. And then there are some that are just plain stupid. If you want to email me and argue why your account name should be allowed, let me know. But I do have a filter on there for just plain stupid names. Sorry. All right. Have a good day.
All right, you as
Take care,
well.
everybody.
Thanks for joining
All
us.
right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.